carefully because I don't want to be too close like I was on the last one. So, but I still like that video though. It still came out so great. Hi lovelies, welcome again to my channel. I firstly want to say a big thank you to all of you guys who supported my first video. The love was massive. I expected nothing like that at all. I literally thought I was going to post that video and get like 2 views. I told my friends literally, I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get like 20 views max. And you guys just like outdid it, and I'm so happy. I'm super grateful. Thank you so much for your love. I hope to not disappoint you guys. I hope to always come here and bring more fun to your table, to your screen. And so yeah, I wanted to, you know, do that appreciation at the beginning of this video. I'm going to be talking about some personal stuff today. You already know what I'm about to talk about from the title. And I'm really like sweating just thinking about it, honestly. I'm not wanting to talk about my life history to people, but I guess opening YouTube just kind of defeats that point, right? So I guess I'm just going to be talking about it. So you guys, I was engaged at 21. I am African and I was engaged at 21. Like, that doesn't even sound right together. Like, if you know, you know. Like, it doesn't match. Being African, you have to have achieved a lot of things before even thinking of marriage. You have to have been like a doctor, a lawyer or something. So at 21, I had graduated from college and I had gotten my first job, and I thought the next thing was for me to just like go get married to another person's child. Turns out I was too early. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of the details that happened. Obviously, I'm not gonna tell you about every little thing, because if we were to do that, oh my goodness, it's gonna be a series and you are not ready for that. So anyways, let's move into the story time. I met this beautiful guy. I know a lot of people don't call their exes beautiful, but I'll try as much as possible to talk about him in a positive light, you guys. I just got into the country at the time when we first started dating, so I didn't have any reservation as to who I wanted to be with and who I didn't want to be with, you know? So we were dating for 2.5 years actually, and you know, everything was rosy, everything was nice, and cut chase to the point where, you know, the engagement started and everything. So I was done with school. I was at my last internship in college. So, and he had gone into the military at that time, and he was at the basic training. I had like 3 months of internship and he had like 3 months of basic training. So we were apart for that period of time. As I was doing my internship, he was doing his basic training. Obviously in basic training, you don't get to have your phone, you don't get to talk to anybody, your family members, your friends or whatever. We didn't see each other, we didn't talk to each other, no FaceTime, no calls, no text messages, only letters. Literally, they took us to 1960. He told me to wait for him all through the time that he was going to be out there for his basic training. So I waited all through the time. Oh my gosh, you guys, I met some couple beautiful guys during my internship, and in my head I was like, oh, if I wasn't with anybody, I would be, you know, trying as much as possible to be with one of you guys. We did that for a period of 3 months, and then graduation period came. He had sent me a graduation invitation card. The basic training graduation was a 3-day event, and they had these, you know, scheduled for each day. So I remember I got there on Friday, and I spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I was to go back. Long story short, on the Sunday when I was leaving, he had told his mom that he wanted to have an alone time with me. So he took me to this beautiful garden that was in the Air Force Base and everything. And you know, he was asking me a bunch of questions like, so where do you see us in the next 5 years? Like, what are your expectations for this relationship? And I'm like, okay, why are you asking me all these questions? Honestly, you guys, I never thought anything could happen at that point. I just, you know, answered him as a normal, you know, person would have. So I answered all the questions, and he had told me a lot of sweet things that I can't remember right now, honestly, but I know he said some couple words, and then he got on one knee and he proposed to me. So I said yes, let's do it. I was happy, I was hyped. I went back to my internship, I told my friends, and they were super happy for me. I thought I'd found the one, right? I thought that was the guy that was meant for me. At some point, he stopped calling, he stopped texting, he stopped reaching out to me and everything. And I remember I would always call him or just leave voicemails and everything. No response, no text messages, no replies. So one day I decided to call him with my sister's number. I used that Nigerian mentality on him, you guys. I mean, I don't know if it's only Nigerians that do that. Anyways, I know that tactics was from my Nigerian childhood. So I called him using my sister's phone number, and he picked up. And in my head I was like, you could pick up other people's calls? A few weeks came and I got a message from him, and it was a one-line message. Literally, you know how you text people, I'm on my way, and then your phone kind of like just like helps you out and says on my way, dun dun dun. Literally, it was like one word, not one word, one line message. It wasn't a paragraph. And I was like, wow. I wish I had the message, honestly, but I deleted everything about him from the moment it ended, literally. So at that point, I was like, okay, I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, I kind of saw it coming, and at that point I was just like, okay, I mean, I wish you good luck, you know? And so I called my mom that day, and I remember she told me, you have to call him, you have to ask him, is he pulling some pranks, what's happening? And then I told my mom, I was like, Mom, like, you have to understand the kind of child you raised. I am not that person who would go back to you and chase you. Like, I don't know how to do that. And I know a lot of you would be like, oh, but it was your relationship, you had to try, you had to make things work as much as you could. Honestly, you guys, I did. All through this process that I kept calling over and over with no response was about a month and a few weeks. So I kept doing that over and over and over and over until, you know, everything was said and done, and I was just like, you know what, this has been expected, kind of. Weeks after, some of my friends called, and you know, they gave me the tea, and they told me they saw him posting another girl's picture on his Instagram as his girlfriend. So about 6 months or thereabout after, he broke up with the girlfriend, or the girlfriend broke up, whatever. I just know they broke up because my friends gave me the tea again, right? So he tried calling me back so many times. He would call me and leave a voicemail because I never picked up the call anyways. So I was like, you know what? Don't call me, lose my number, bro. Just lose it, okay? Sometimes my friends would listen on, and then would be like, yo, just block his number. This guy literally left after, you know, proposing to you. Just block his damn number. So I blocked it, right? And that was about it. Now let's start with the highlights I want you guys to be able to take away from this video. So my number one highlight is when they say self-love, self-care is important, do not think it's a cliche. I tell you today, that was what saved me. You guys, I was able to take care of myself, find hobbies that I liked, you know, and just invest in myself. Literally, I started leaving the Kemi blog right after my breakup, honestly, you guys. I had all the time to think that, oh, you know, girl, you've always wanted to do this. How about you just do it now? And I'm so proud of my blog page, you guys. If you haven't checked it out, it's www.livingthekemi. I don't know if I'll put it here or here. Next highlight, I want you to always think deep about anything you want to do, especially anything that's going to be permanent in your life. Honestly, I always tell people, anything that's going to be with me or anything that's going to affect me for 5 years, it's already a long time. You are the only one who can make yourself happy. I want you to know that no one else can make you happy. If you're like this and you expect people to keep putting an input into your life in order to fill you up, you're mistaken, my friend. You need to be able to have something going on with your life, something that brings joy to you in order for you to even function well and like yourself, which goes back to the self-love I told you about. In order for you to have self-love for yourself, you have to be able to be happy, right? You have to be able to like yourself. Like, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I like who I see? Would I be my friend? Like, would I be able to be friends with me? So never, ever think that anybody could be a better source of happiness to your life. My next highlight is for you to always see positivity in things. No matter what happens, honestly, you guys, always believe there's a reason for everything. Just imagine if I had married my ex and things started happening in the marriage. I don't know about any other culture, but I know in my culture, divorce is not a thing, honestly, you guys. Like, if you marry somebody, if you decide that this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, you best believe you're about to spend the rest of your life with that person. I wouldn't have been able to leave a marriage as much as I could have left a relationship. So I decided to focus more on that positivity, and that was what helped me get pulled away from that negativity and go back to a positivity level. My last one, I'm just gonna say this one. Don't ever believe that you cannot move past a disappointment. Don't ever think that there's no other person for you to be with in this world. Literally, there are about 7.8 billion people in the world today. How do I know that? Actually, I don't know. I don't know how I know that, but anyways, Google it and let me know if I'm wrong. But there are about 7.8 billion people in the world today, and for you to think that you cannot find a better match is clearly a mistake. You are specially made for someone, and that person is going to find you at some point. You guys are going to match like this, and it would be like you've never been with so many people. You gotta kiss so many frogs before you meet that Prince Charming, okay? Yes, that's gonna be it. Again, thank you so much for supporting me on my first video. Mwah! I love you guys so much. Subscribe to the channel, click on the notification button, and I'll keep coming back with more interesting videos, you guys. Mwah! Bye!